So, hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the next question in the Stacks playlist that goes by evaluate the reverse polished notation. At first, this question genuinely is very easy given that you know about the reverse polished notation and what is it about, how is it, how do we get to that reverse polished notation given we have numbers, we have operators. So, let's just see that. Talking about this example, okay? So what reverse polish notation says that, okay, this is in reverse polish notation. Okay. And we have to return the integer that represents the evaluation of that expression. Now, how do we do that? First of all, we have 1, we have 2. So if there is a numeral in the, if there's a numeral out there, what do? We just push it in the stack. You already know it's a stack question, right? When I talk about the stacks playlist, I've already told this question belongs to the stacks playlist. So you know it has something to do with the stacks. Now, why do I think it has to do something with the stacks, given that I've not told you it's from the stacks playlist? That is what we're going to come in further as we go further into this question. So you see it's a numeral, right? And hence, when it's a numeral, you just push it into the stack. 1 is in the stack now. Then you see 2. Okay, you said 2 is in the stack now. Do you get that? Then you see an operator. It could be any operator given from these 4 operators. Okay, you see an addition operator. What do you say? You say pop this out. Now my A has the value 2. You say B, pop this out. Okay. And then what do you do? It's a plus. So basically it's A plus B, that is 3. Now, when you get this 3, you push this into the stack. So now this is popped, 3 is there inside your stack. Then again, it is a 3. So what do? You push it inside your stack. Then you come to another operator. It says, now you get this in A, you get this in B, and A into B, 9 is pushed into the stack. Then you get 4. You push this into the stack. Then you get minus. So now this is your A, this is your B. So what happens? It's B minus A, and you get, this is your A, sorry, and this is your B. So B minus A, you get 5. Do you get that? I hope you're getting it right. Because first, what was it? From here, you were getting 9, and then came 4. So it has to be 9 minus 4, and that is 5. So what you have to return? You have to return stack stop, because you'll be left with one element that would be your answer. So you get it? How do we build it up? How do we build up on it? You see this 1 plus 2, it happened right here. Then you see this into this that happened right here. And then this minus. I hope you're ultra clear with what I want to say, right? From the reverse polish notation, here is how we get to the final expression. You get it? Now the thing that I want to tell you is that if you see, we need only 2 top elements or only the 2 most recent elements. Now, which is the data structure that could get you the most recent elements? It's your stack. So that is why whenever this question comes to us, we think of stack at first, given that we already know about its concepts and we've already, seen it before. We have an idea of how to solve it out, right? So yeah, when you talk, because I don't care what was this that was pushed in, what was this that was pushed in. When I am here at this point, I just care about these 2 numbers, right? Because these 2 are going to give me the another answer. And then given there is another thing, let's say it's 5, and then you see the plus operator. So now only these 2 numbers are your concern, right? What all was there in the stack earlier is of no use to you. You don't even you don't even care about it, what all has been in the stack before you decided these 2 numbers that are there on the top of the stack are your answers. I hope you're getting it. I guess if there's any doubts, there are any concerns, I think we should be good post the code part. Okay. So we have to return what? Integer, right? And then let me write the function. The function says evaluate reverse polish, right? What has been given to us in input? This is a string vector, right? So we have been given vector as, so what have we been given? We have been given a vector that has the component as string. And what is it? Tokens, right? So post this, let me tell you. Okay, what we have to do? Just let me get started. Now we have to create a stack. What do I mean by saying that I have to have a stack? We need to have an integer stack because all the operations that we've started before would be done on your integers. So this is your stack. Now for int I is 0, I less than tokens dot size I plus plus. Then going ahead, let's just see if your tokens I, if this is equivalent to your positive operator. So what does it happen? We take integer a and we take stack stop in it and then we pop this. Then we take integer b and then we pop it. Then we push into stack b plus a. Now, you'd be thinking, why b plus a and why not a plus b? Because it won't matter when you're doing addition, it won't matter when you're doing multiplication, but in subtraction, it is going to be b minus a, it's going to be b by a. And that is where it is going to matter. Now you'd ask me why it's not a minus b, why it's not a by b. So let's just see this quickly. You have this 1 and 2. I put it in the stack in order 1 and 2, right? Now A is this, B is this. But as per the order, what should be first? 1, then 2. Now, had this been minus, it was for 1 minus 2. And how can I get 1 minus 2? That is B minus A. Do you get it? I hope you do so, right? Just think, had this been multiply, it was multiplying for 1 by 2, right? But here it's going to be B by A. You get that? Because all of it, when it's pushed into the stack, it gets pushed in the reverse order. You get that? 1 goes to the bottommost of the stack, while 1 was the first character to start with. That is why we don't do A minus B, but we go with B minus A. I hope you are getting it. Now, else if your tokens I is your subtraction operator, it is going to be same integer a stack dot top, stack is going to pop it off, integer b, stack stop, stack is going to pop it off, and then you're going to push b minus a. I hope you get that, right? Then next, okay, 1 second. Okay, next. Else if it's your multiplication operator, then what? Int a is going to be your stack stop with stacks popped. And integer b is your stack stop again with stack pop. And then you push into stack b into a. Then finally your last operator, division. Int a is your stack stop. Then you pop it off. Int B is your again stack stop. Then you pop it off. Then you push into stack B by A. Now there is another case that is much more important. What is that case? It's a simple else. Simple else. What does that mean? That you have hit a place where there is a number. Then what do? You just push that number in the form of integer. This is very important, people, that you push it off as integer, because all the operations that are happening in the stack, even your stack's data type, it is integer. So it's important that you keep this in your mind while doing any other operations, that first of all, you have to push your element in form of an integer, convert it into the data type of integer, and then push it off. So then what do you push it? You're pushing tokens I, right? And then what do you return? You return stack stop. Now, there is one important thing that you can ask me, right? That why are we not checking here if stack is not empty, right? Because as per, if the stack is empty, then whenever we are calling out these operations anywhere, right, they should return in an error, right? And that is important. We have been doing it in valid parentheses, or we would be doing it in the forthcoming questions, right? But why not here? Why are we not giving a check here, right? What if my stack is empty? What if my first is an, what if my first, the first in the sequence is an operator? But I will tell you right now, it cannot be the case, because in the question language, it is explicitly mentioned that it is valid arithmetic expression in reverse Polish notation. Given that it is valid, we know what cannot happen. This thing cannot happen. Are you getting that? Right? So it has to be valid. That means the stack cannot be empty given you have encountered an operator. If you encounter an operator, that means you already have two elements in your stack. Exactly two elements in your stack. Not exactly, I would say, but at least you have your two elements in your stack that you can be taken up as A, can be taken up as B. I hope you're getting that, right? So I guess this was much, 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 much important to be talked of, because this is where your interviewer can actually question you around that why you're not checking it. And if you check it, then also you can be questioned around. I understand it's a good concept to be, to be cautious at hand. But whenever these questions spring out, you just need to see that it's a valid thing, right? You cannot have that case. So you put it, it's great you put it, right? But if you don't put it, you need to have proper explanation why you're not using it. Then coming to the important complexities. Your time complexity, it takes big O of n. You're traversing over it for once. Space complexity, big O of n for stack. With this, I hope you were able to understand the question, you were able to understand the solution. Now, if this question comes up, you can actually devise a solution of your own. You know the concept, you know everything. But still, if you have any doubts, or if you want me to make a video on what exactly reverse Polish notation is in description, I can do that. Just keep me informed of whatever you want to be done ahead, right? With that, I'll be taking your leave. Thank you so much. And if you have any doubts, just please make sure you're making use of the comment section. Bye-bye. Take care.